Now I would like to invite Mr. Mohammad Usman. Mr. Mohammad Usman is a dynamic finance professional with diversified experience in private equity, venture capital, equity research, credit rating, and structured finance. He has worked in UK, UAE, and Pakistan. In MENA, he's focusing on private equity and venture capital market and mezzanine finance. He's going to share his vision for knowledge of alternative investments in South Asia with us.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been quite a morning for all of us, coming early in the morning and sitting here for 4 hours almost now. But I'll try and quickly share what I have to share in this presentation. This is not directly linked with the investment in South Asia per se, as you know, all the valuable presentations that we have seen so far. But this is more into acquiring skills and tools to make investment decisions, be it yourself or the teams that you manage. We all need tools, skills, knowledge of the markets, where we stand, and how can we make better informed investment decisions. So we, all of us, at some point, we go through training courses. Some of us go even adventurous and delve into professional qualifications like CFA, etc., which is a gold standard, considered a gold standard. And Alhamdulillah, I am a CFA chart holder for quite some years now. But today it's about Kaya designation. Kaya is offered by a Kaya association based in the USA. Relatively a young association if you compare that with CFA Institute. It's been around for about less than 2 decades now, whereas the CFA Institute has been around for more than 5 decades. Kaya stands for CAIA. It is a Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst designation. It's not at the level of CFA as yet in number of members around the globe, but they are growing exponentially. They are really into the growth phase. As we'll learn later in the presentation, how Kaya adds value to investment decision making, and what are the details about the exam, and how Berkeley Middle East can help. If any of you wants to pursue it, if you like, if you feel the curriculum, because I found the curriculum to be very interesting and thought to be relevant in the market here, because being a CFA chart holder, it focuses more on the traditional aspect of investment decision making. There is alternative section in CFA curriculum, but Kaya is a different ball game. It's purely specializes into the alternative investment area, and most part of my career I was dealing with alternative investments like the family office, venture capital, private equity, real estate. So Kaya was the curriculum that I really once I got introduced a few years back, I thought this is something that can really add value to my resume and to the skill set that I have. So without further ado, and I won't take long, inshallah. So we'll just walk through the details of the course and the charter. As you can see, the presentation is slightly blurred. It's not clearly visible, but basically the map shows that Kaya designation, the charter or the chapters are all around the world. They have about 80 academic associations. They have 11,000 plus members around the globe, which is of course far lesser than what CFA Institute has, but again, they started barely 18 years ago. So this is more of a indicative chart. As you can see, they span the whole globe pretty much in less than 20 years. So where Kaya members, so they called Kaya chart holder or Kaya members, so they interchangeably used by Kaya association. So members are those who have passed all their exams and they are renewing their annual membership, which comes with certain responsibilities that you have to attend certain academic trainings or seminars or events in order to keep your membership active. So it's not like passing an exam and then just forgetting about it. So it's more sort of learning experience which continues the whole year round as long as your membership is active. So these are the some of the areas where Kaya members are employed. As you can see, 49% of hedge funds, they employ Kaya chart holders, 46% private equity, 40% fixed income alternatives, which currently I am in, commodities, you have infrastructure, you have venture capital, managed futures, structured products, etc., etc. So this is a graph which shows the growth trajectory that Kaya Association has taken over the last 18 years since they established in 2002. You can see the towering graphs here, and they are growing every passing year. Now, what are the core concepts of Kaya Charter? Professional and standards and ethics. This is an area which has become a standard, a core of the investment decision making, and this is a fundamental part of the CFA curriculum as well. So you need to do ethics. You need to do well in ethics in order to be a good investment professional. So ethics is there, and again they use the same CFA, the guidebook or the CFA standards book for Kaya as well. Then you have introduction to alternatives. This is level 1, by the way. So there are 2 levels of Kaya. So you have to pass level 1, level 2, and then meet certain experience requirements, and then you become a full member of the Kaya Association. So level 1 entails these core concepts. So you have real estate, real assets. Now real assets has real estate. It has the greenfield, brownfield projects. It has fine art. So it is quite interesting area to study and learn about. You have hedge funds, you have private equity, you have structured products, risk and portfolio management. So these are the core areas for level 1. So it mostly taps into the surface of what comes in level 2, of course, which is more advanced and more sophisticated. So this is level 2 core topic areas. So again, you have professional standards and ethics. You have venture capital and private equity. You have hedge funds, real estate, commodities, structured products, and then you have research issues, risk and risk management. Now, in level 2, which I found very intriguing, was their area called integrated topics. So those are, they don't come from a book, but they are rather white papers. They are research articles issued by and published by reputable journals from around the globe, and they are the ones. I mean, I found to be the defining characteristics of the Kaya curriculum, because they are so relevant, they are so up to date, they are so contemporary, that you see those changes, those changes happening around you when you read that. For example, it even includes topics on quite a number of papers on cryptocurrencies and what is blockchain, and for example. So these were the things that I thought were quite relevant to today's world, when we stand at the dawn of another revolution, just like we had internet back in 90s. So now I think blockchain is the new internet of 2020s. So moving on to the level 1 exam topics. Again, there's a distribution of what percentage of the exam entails from which topic area. So that gives a pretty good view that what are the areas which are given more weightage and which are at the lower end. For level 2, by the way, level 1 exam is only MCQs, multiple choice questions. The 2 sessions, 100 question in each session. So 4 hours exam total. This is a computer-based exam. You basically book an appointment with Pearson. You go and they have a cubicle, write your exam on computer. So 200 MCQs over a time period of 4 hours. And but in level 2, you have multiple choice and you have constructed response questions, which is also called the essay part, just like they have essay part in CF level 3. So here you have 70% MCQ and you have 30% weight, exam weight, that is in the constructive response. So 10% and 10%. So the first 10% is professional standards and ethics, and then you have current and integrated topics, as I just mentioned, and then the remaining 10% from the essay portion comes from all the different topic areas that we already discussed. So again, as I just mentioned, you have 2 sessions in level 1 exam, 100 question, 100 question. And then in level 2 you have 2 sections as well, but the first section is MCQs like level 1, and the section 2 is, comprises 3 essays which you have to complete in 2 hours, 120 minutes. Now, Pi Association, they are wonderful. My experience with them has been amazing. Many of the candidates and students that I have been lucky to train, they have had really good experience. They are very helpful in terms of providing study material and also resolving if candidates have any issues or they need any help with. For example, I just happened to send them an email that I have an event in Dubai, so they were benevolent enough to send me this presentation for this purpose. So they are quite good professional people. So these are the different resources that they have, which can be tapped into on their website. Now, talking about fee, of course, that's important for all of us to know how much it costs. It's not much if you look at it, the quality of material, the quality of education that you gain. So you pay $400 as registration fee to become a candidate, and then you register for the exam, which is $1,250. But if you do early, within their early bird discount thing, you get $100 discount, and that comes to $1,550 total for level 1. And for level 2, it's only exam fee, which is $1,250 or $1,150 depending on when you register. And if you unfortunately have to retake the exam, it's lesser. It's $450. It costs $450 only, not $1,250. Now the exam pass rates have been quite similar to what we see in CFA. If some of you might be familiar with that. Level 1 is slightly lower than level 2, which is, people have all sorts of theories that why is that the case. Even in CFA, that why level 2 candidates score higher than level 1 students, even though level 2 is always considered to be difficult and challenging than level 1. So one of the theories is that students who pass level 1, they are a serious bunch than the ones who did not. So level 2 pass rate, that's why it jumps. Okay, so this is the ultimate result once you pass exams and meet all the requirements. So this is the charter that you get on the day you become a member. You pay your fee and then you fulfill all the requirements. And I can tell you it's quite a feeling when you have that charter in your email. And they also send you a very nicely made physical copy of the charter also. So these are some of the academic partnerships that they have. There are quite popular universities around the globe that they have partnered with. Sample employers, you can see all the big names here. And it's getting a lot of hype even here in UAE because they have about half a dozen events last year. And the number of enrollments and the students who are preparing, and by students I mean people who are serious investment professionals, people who have had 10 plus years of experience, who are dealing with these alternatives on a daily basis, just like myself. So they are flocking towards it because it has those practical tools really that you need in today's world for investment seed making. Okay, what are the benefits of Kaya members to Kaya Association offers to Kaya members? You have educational chapters and networking events, as I just mentioned. They have had quite a number of events even in last year here. You have the Journal of Alternative Investment, which is quarterly. It's a very sophisticated journal. I have hardly seen any professional body providing the kind of research that they provide. Phenomenal. Then you have current news, industry research, and then you have Kaya Career Center as well. So these are the visible benefits of being a member. Then you have ongoing education. They have on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, they have info series and podcasts that you can switch into and you learn upgrade the different offices that they have. Unfortunately, they don't have any formal office in UAE as yet, but I'm quite hopeful that they'll be having very soon an office here, and which will be again a catalyst to increase the number of members that they come from UAE. I'll just move to this part, which is the interesting one. It's called Stackable Credential Pilot Program, and this will be last part of my presentation. So if any of you has a CFA charter already, you get exemption from level 1, just the way I did. So that makes your journey towards your charter even shorter and easier in a way that you don't have to prepare for level 1, because as I mentioned, CFA curriculum has quite a lot to talk about alternatives. But if you have covered that in CFA, the Kaya Association, they have to tie up with CFA, where they have started testing this new credential stackable credential pilot program, where they offer you exemption from level 1 of the Kaya program. But you have to be an active member of the CFA program. You have to be a charter holder. So that's it. I hope this was something. If you have any question, by the way, you can always reach out to Berkeley Middle East. You can reach out to me. I have my contact details with Berkeley. I mean, I've been fortunate enough that Dr. Musa invited me for the event to talk to various honorable dignitaries from various countries. And if any of you or any of your team members wishes to learn more about Kaya and what it entails, what are the details that they need to look up to, you can always reach Berkeley Middle East. You can reach me directly, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you so much.